Are you ready for a political earthquake? Imagine waking up to headlines screaming about a president and a tech billionaire dismantling government agencies and raising serious doubts about election integrity. This isn't a movie script, it's happening right now. President Trump and Elon Musk are escalating their government purge, and the implications are staggering. We're not just talking about policy changes. We're talking about the very foundations of our democracy being shaken. Is this a bold move to drain the swamp, or a reckless power grab that threatens the stability of our nation? Let's get straight to the heart of the matter. Thousands of federal workers have been fired. Yes, you heard that right, thousands. The official line is that this is about government efficiency, but critics argue it's a politically motivated attack on dedicated public servants. Think about the impact on essential services, from national security to environmental protection. Are we sacrificing competence and experience for political loyalty? The sheer scale of these firings raises serious questions about the future of the federal workforce. This isn't just about numbers. It's about the real people who dedicate their lives to serving the public. Now, brace yourself for this bombshell. Elon Musk claims he and President Trump are in the process of shutting down the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. Yes, the agency responsible for billions of dollars in foreign aid and humanitarian assistance. Musk stated definitively, "We're shutting it down." He even claimed he had the full support of the president. But here's the catch. Congress controls the purse strings. Can the White House simply shut down a federal agency without congressional approval? This move is not only unprecedented, it's potentially unconstitutional. The Impoundment Control Act of 1974 prevents the president from withholding funds approved by Congress. This could lead to a massive legal battle, and the fate of USAID hangs in the balance. So, why would Musk want to shut down USAID? He calls it beyond repair and a hopeless ball of worms. Strong words, right? He claims he spent the weekend feeding USAID into the wood chipper. Senator Joni Ernst, a Republican critic of federal spending, seems to agree with his assessment. But many experts question the wisdom of dismantling an agency that plays a crucial role in global development and disaster relief. USAID's budget for 2023 was around $40 billion. Where will that money go if the agency is shut down? Will other countries step in to fill the void? The consequences are far-reaching and potentially devastating for vulnerable populations around the world. This isn't just about cutting costs. It's about America's role in the world. The drama doesn't stop there. Before Musk's shocking announcement, USAID's Director of Security and his deputy were placed on administrative leave after trying to prevent employees from Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, from accessing secure USAID systems. Yes, you heard that right. The DOGE employees reportedly threatened to call the U.S. Marshals. Eventually, they gained access, but what information did they obtain? This incident raises serious concerns about data security and the potential for political interference. It's a power struggle playing out in real time, and the stakes are incredibly high. Are we witnessing a legitimate effort to improve efficiency or a blatant attempt to seize control of sensitive information? But the story doesn't end with USAID. Trump is escalating his attacks on the integrity of U.S. elections, spreading new lies about ballots, vote counting, and the election process. He's laying the groundwork to challenge a potential defeat in November, just like he did in 2020. Nonpartisan democracy experts are sounding the alarm, warning that we're seeing many of the same warning signs that preceded the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Lindsay Daniels, a senior director at the Nonpartisan Democracy Fund, says the threats have not abated, they have only increased. Are we heading down a dangerous path towards another contested election? The potential for political violence is real, and we cannot afford to ignore the warning signs. Trump has made at least 12 distinct false claims over the last 2 months that raise baseless doubts about the validity of a potential victory by Vice President Kamala Harris. He's falsely claiming that Harris can only win through cheating, that it was unconstitutional for the Democrats to replace Biden with Harris, and that voting by non-citizens is a widespread problem in U.S. elections. He even falsely claimed that the U.S. Postal Service admitted it is a poorly run mess and that there is no identity verification for overseas and military voters. These claims are demonstrably false, yet they are being amplified by Trump and his allies, sowing seeds of doubt and distrust in the electoral process. It's a deliberate strategy to undermine confidence in our democracy, and it's working. Let's be clear. These claims are baseless. There's no evidence that Harris can only win through cheating. There was nothing unconstitutional about Biden dropping out and Harris becoming the Democratic nominee. Voting by non-citizens is not a widespread problem. The USPS has not admitted to being a poorly run mess. And there is identity verification for overseas and military voters. These are all lies, plain and simple. But the danger is that if enough people believe these lies, it could lead to widespread unrest and even violence. We need to be vigilant in debunking these myths and protecting the integrity of our elections. Our democracy depends on it. Amidst all this turmoil, USA Today immigration editor Karen Weintraub is discussing how the newsroom is approaching a shifting immigration landscape. This is a crucial issue, and it's more important than ever to have accurate and unbiased reporting. Immigration is a complex and often divisive topic, but it's essential to understand the facts and avoid falling prey to misinformation. Weintraub's insights are valuable in navigating this complex issue and providing context to the ongoing debate. As the political climate heats up, responsible journalism is more important than ever. In other news, federal prosecutors have dropped corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. This is a significant development, and it raises questions about the investigation and the evidence that was presented. While the charges have been dropped, the investigation may not be over. Adams still faces scrutiny, and the public deserves to know the truth about what happened. This case highlights the importance of accountability and transparency in government. We need to hold our elected officials to the highest standards of ethical conduct. Trump has also ordered the defunding of schools that mandate COVID-19 vaccines. This is a controversial move that has sparked outrage from public health experts and educators. They argue that vaccine mandates are essential to protecting students and staff from the virus. Trump, on the other hand, argues that vaccine mandates are a violation of personal freedom. This debate highlights the ongoing tension between individual liberty and public health. The decision to defund schools could have serious consequences for the health and safety of our communities. Meanwhile, USA Today personal finance reporter Daniel DeVice is taking a look at the debate over government alcohol guidance. This is a surprisingly contentious issue, with some experts arguing that current guidelines are too restrictive and others arguing that they don't go far enough. The debate highlights the challenges of providing accurate and evidence-based information about health risks. It's important to understand the science behind the recommendations and make informed decisions about our own health and well-being. This isn't just about drinking. It's about understanding the role of government in providing health advice. Finally, here's a bit of good news. A few minutes of bird watching this weekend can help scientists. Citizen science projects like these are a great way to get involved in research and contribute to our understanding of the natural world. Bird populations are declining in many areas, and citizen scientists can help track these changes and identify potential threats. It's a fun and easy way to make a difference, and it reminds us that we all have a role to play in protecting our planet. So grab your binoculars and head outside. You might just discover something amazing. Let's dig deeper into the mechanics of this so-called government purge. We're seeing a blend of what some might call streamlining and others might label political retribution. The key technical terms here are agency capture, where an agency's agenda is swayed by external interests, and regulatory rollback, the systematic dismantling of existing regulations. One could argue that there's a deliberate effort to reduce the bureaucratic overhead, potentially aiming for a more agile and responsive government. This could align with theories of new public management, a concept explored in Hood's A Public Management for All Seasons, suggesting a shift towards market-oriented principles within the public sector. However, critics would argue that these actions are undermining the very expertise needed for effective governance. The core question: are we truly improving efficiency, or are we eroding the foundations of our public institutions? The debate boils down to two opposing viewpoints. On one side, you have proponents who believe that government is inherently inefficient and needs to be radically reformed. They point to examples of waste, fraud, and abuse as evidence of the need for drastic action. They might employ a Lean Six Sigma methodology to identify and eliminate inefficiencies, a verifiable approach to process improvement. On the other side, you have those who argue that government plays a vital role in protecting the public interest and providing essential services. They worry that these reforms will undermine the ability of government to address critical challenges like climate change, healthcare, and education. The crucial question is, can we find a middle ground that balances efficiency with effectiveness? Or are we destined to swing back and forth between these two extremes? So, what does all this mean for the future? The attempted shutdown of USAID and the escalating attacks on election integrity are deeply concerning. They signal a willingness to disregard established norms and potentially undermine the rule of law. If Trump and Musk succeed in their efforts, it could have a chilling effect on the federal workforce and further erode public trust in government. The upcoming election will be a critical test of our democracy. Will we be able to overcome the disinformation and division and ensure a fair and accurate vote count? The stakes are incredibly high, and the future of our nation hangs in the balance. We need to be informed, engaged, and ready to defend our democratic institutions. This is not a spectator sport. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of our country. Stay informed, engage in civil discourse, and hold your elected officials accountable. Don't let fear and division paralyze you. Stand up for what you believe in and fight for a better future. I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the government purge? Do you think it's a legitimate effort to improve efficiency or a dangerous power grab? Leave your comments below and let's start a conversation. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of the issues that matter most. Together, we can make a difference. Thanks for watching.